Hi guys, welcome back to Cultivation with Christy. I'm Christy. Today we're in the kitchen, which Lily should not be in. She just left. And we're going to be making bread. Clearly we are not in the garden, but some people have asked me about making bread and things, and I think it's important to know how to cook from scratch with the ingredients from your garden. Obviously bread is not something I cultivate. Now we are going to make hamburger buns and hot dog buns, and my dogs are very concerned that I'm in here talking to myself. We're going to do a little bit of an experiment because I'm out of milk. So, in this bowl, I have my warmed lactose-free milk, and in this measuring cup, I have almond milk, unsweetened original. I haven't made the recipe with almond milk, so we're going to see if it makes a difference, because I'm going to make one set is going to be hamburger buns and one set is going to be hot dog buns. And again, I'm just going to slice them in half and put them in the freezer until we're ready for them. So I have checked my milk. Remember, we need it between 90 to 100 degrees, and it is still warm. So to the milk, I got my bread machine yeast, and this recipe did not specify between regular yeast or bread machine yeast, so I'm just gonna do the 2 teaspoons that it recommends. And again, I've made this recipe before and the bread machine yeast didn't make a difference. So make sure I'm adding the right. Okay, so add 2 teaspoons of yeast to both, and 1 teaspoon of sugar. And that's just going to feed the yeast. The sugar is something for the yeast to eat. And I'm going to give that a little stir. And sorry, I forgot to mute the TV. It's the same. I'm using the same screen. Okay, now we're going to leave this for 5 minutes. Set the timer. And we're going to let that proof. And we'll be right back. Okay, while that is still sitting for 5 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and get my dry ingredients together. So in this bowl, I've already done it, so you don't have to watch me do it twice. In this one, I added the remaining sugar, which is about 1.5 tablespoons, and the salt, because I forgot to add it to this one and added it to this one, but it was only 1/2 teaspoon. So I've got sugar and salt, and now I need 2.5 cups of flour. I'm just using regular all-purpose for this one. You could make or use bread flour. I don't think it makes a difference. I mean, I'm sure it does, but for my purposes, it doesn't make a difference. And clearly, my measuring is very exact. Oh my goodness, come out. Put that to the side because you're going to need more flour in a little bit. And so we've got the flour, the sugar, and the salt in 2 separate bowls for our 2 separate recipes. We still got 1.5 minutes to go for our proofing of the yeast, and we'll be right back. Okay, our timer just went off. And look at that. See how it's all puffy and gross looking? Alright, so this one is our almond milk, right? So I'm going to add the almond milk to this plastic tub. So your yeast mixture you're going to add to your flour, sugar, and salt, and combine those. You're probably supposed to add the flour to the yeast, not the other way around, but this is how we're doing it. And then while I mix this, I have 3 tablespoons of butter already in my microwave. I'm going to finish melting that. Melt my other one. Add the 3 tablespoons of butter. Mix it all together with a good solid spoon. I'm using my wooden spoon that, as you can see, has been through some things. Almond milk done. See, we have a nice dough. Now we're going to cover this with plastic wrap. And let it go for another 5 minutes. Gonna do the other one. We'll be back after 5 minutes. Okay. It's been 5 minutes for our almond milk one. So I'm gonna start with it. Cover it. Keep this because you'll need it again. See? Looks the same. Roll it out on this pre-floured cutting board. I'm going to try to get the rest of this dough out of the bowl. Alright, so you're going to roll it out, and then gradually you're going to add the remaining 1/4 cup of flour to this dough. I just add it until it starts to get sticky. Or you can't see what I'm doing. Until it starts to get sticky, and then I'll add some more to the cutting board and some more to the dough. And just kind of fold it in. And it may still be a little bit soft, like you may feel like, or sticky. You may feel like you need to add more than this 1/4 of a cup. And the recipe that I use says don't do it. Don't add any more flour than the 1/4 cup remaining. Really, this one doesn't feel like it's gonna need any more, but don't do it either way. Don't add more. Okay, that's it. cooking oil, you can rub it. I'm just gonna spray it in here. Put your dough back in there and spray it. Or rub it with oil, whatever. Then you're gonna put your plastic wrap back on. And this is gonna sit for 30 minutes. So I'm gonna do the other one and we'll come back after 30 minutes. See you then. Okay, I just finished the second one, adding all the flour in. Something I wanted to mention was if you didn't want to use cooking spray or oil of your choice, you could also use butter to line your bowl with and cover the top of the dough, because you don't want it sticking to the plastic wrap if it happens to rise higher than your bowl. So again, I'm going to spray this one. I'm going to put our second dough in there. Spray it real good. Put our cover back on. We'll be back. Alright, it's a little over 30 minutes. I had to deal with the county inspector for our HVAC unit. Anyway. Okay, so we're going to do the almond milk one first. See, it's risen a little bit. You're going to want to punch it down. I also have water boiling on the stove for potatoes for shepherd's pie for a frozen dinner for later. Hopefully the steam's not too annoying. So anyway, you're going to roll it out. Let me get my rolling pin. I guess technically you don't really need to roll it out, but you need to cut it into 8 even sections, which this is the part I struggle with. Because I never get them even. Okay, here we are. So you see I've got my dough here. I'm going to try to cut it into, see, but it's not the same. Whatever. See, one of these things is not like the other. Okay. So then, now you got 8 pieces. Then you're going to take your dough and kind of like tuck it over. They call it pinching it. And you want to roll it out like a hot dog bun. Because this is the almond milk. We're going to make the hot dog bun from the almond milk. So they're going to be very tiny hot dog buns. They will rise a little bit. And you want them about hot dog sized. Yeah. And then if you have a seam, see my seam? You can pinch these under so it'll be nice and round. And then you're gonna have parchment paper, not wax paper. Don't make that mistake. Parchment paper, and you're just gonna sit him over here on your tray lined with parchment paper. And then we're just gonna do that, well, a bunch more times. And then we're gonna let them, well, I'm gonna roll these out. It's gonna take me a hot second, then I'll be right back. They're all rolled out. They're about the same size. Now, I have 1 whisked egg, and you're just gonna brush them. If you wanted to use, butter or something else, you can, because you definitely do not need this whole egg for these buns, so you'll have leftovers. Since I'm doing 2 batches, I may use this whole egg, but if you don't want to waste an egg, I'm sure you can use butter. It's just to give them a nice golden crust. Alright. Now you cover it and let it sit for 15 minutes and we'll be back. Okay, so I realized that this recipe calls for 2 eggs, and I used 1 in the egg wash, but I was supposed to add another egg when we added the melted butter. Oops. We'll see how these turned out. Okay, I'm doing the lactose-free milk one now, and I am doing the hamburger bun. So you do it the same way. You roll it out, you cut it into 8 even pieces, and then you do the rolly into a ball, tucking it in. Well, kind of tore. You get the idea. Probably because I didn't add that egg. Oops. Okay. So there you go. And it will rise. Again, it doesn't look like much, but it'll be fine. I say that, but I forgot an egg. Hopefully, it'll be okay. Anyway, you're just rolling it, tucking it under, and then you can pat it out a little bit. And repeat, and these are also going to sit for 15 minutes. We'll be back. Ta-da! Okay, they're all rolled out. I'm going to egg wash just like I did the hot dog buns. See, even with doing both, I didn't even use all that egg. Alright. Hot dog buns got 1 minute left, and we will put those in a preheated oven. I have a double oven, which is now preheated. The bottom one is a convection oven. Don't growl at me. The bottom one's a convection oven, and I always have to be very careful when I cook anything in the convection oven, especially bread. Even if it's the frozen bread or the like King's Hawaiian, I will burn stuff in this bottom. So if you have a convection oven, you may want to watch your bread. Just a pro tip. Why are you being rude? What do you want? What? Oh. Nothing in here for you. No. Okay. Anyway. Let me go get the bread. And we're ready to put it in. Okay, see? Whoa, let's not drop it for the dogs to eat. You can see they rose quite a bit. Alright, going in the convection oven. Wish me luck. And that's 12 to 15 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and set it for 12. I'll give the buns another couple of minutes because I didn't obviously get those done at the same time. And then we will come back and I'll show you the final product. Alright, here they are. All golden and beautiful. And decently sized. Like, that's probably hot dog size. And if any of you know me, I cannot cook anything without burning the snot out of myself. Anyway, there's the hot dog buns. The hamburger buns were on the bottom, so the bottom got darker than the top. I hate using this convection oven. Anyway, and it's not even on convect. Well, that's all for now. I'm going to move on to shepherd's pie and sausage bread for the week. I've got to make another set of dough. Anyway, my hand is on fire, so I'm gonna go put some aloe on it. Okay, here they are. Now, normally I would you don't flip the hamburger buns, but because they were getting a little brown on the bottom and I didn't think they were quite done, I did flip them so the bottom didn't burn. But it's that stupid convection oven. See, I got the two, and the bottom has 2 racks, but the top only had 1, and since I was doing 2, I did the bottom. Anyway, look how fluffy. And I should have done it while I was pulling them apart because it's just so flaky. I don't think the egg's gonna make a difference. So I'm sitting here picking the parts off of them. Anyway, so then what I do is I take my handy dandy bread knife and I'll just slice them in half. The hot dog buns I won't go all the way through. The hamburger I will. And see, the hamburgers are a little small, but our hamburgers usually cook down and they end okay. But if you wanted bigger hamburger buns, then you could probably do them in 6 instead of 8 and they'd be a little bit bigger. But anyway, that's it. I'm about to slice up my bread here. You can see, well, he got pretty big. So you could actually slice this end off and have the butt piece. So good. Anyway, I've got my turkey thawing to make my shepherd's pie. I've already done the potatoes up. Saved my water. I'm so proud. I never remembered to save my starchy cooking water. And then again, I'm going to finish doing the dishes and get back with the dough. We'll see you in a little bit. Okay, like 5 hours later, 2 injuries later, then I've got the buns. I've sliced them almost all the way through. Hot dog buns, sliced those almost all the way through. Then I have shepherd's pie that I added saran wrap to, and all of this will go in the freezer. Yay, go team! And then I still have my dough over here that's got 30 minutes left that I'll put in the fridge until Adon gets home with shredded cheese so I can make sausage bread. Hey guys, it's about a week later and we've decided we want hot dogs. So I'm out here in the freezer. I got my shepherd's pie out here. I got my garlic bread. And I got my buns. Pull these suckers out. Look at them. And we're going to see if they're any good. Okay. Here they are. They're the perfect size. Don't judge me. So this was the almond milk one. And they're good. I also forgot to add an egg. So, compared to how I've made them before, they're still good. Don't look at my turnip greens. They're good. Approved. But go ahead and add the eggs. They'll be fluffier, I promise.